Something strange is happening to the job market, and I don't think we're talking about the biggest part of it. It's not just about whether companies are hiring or laying people off. It's about the fact that the entire definition of a job seems to be changing underneath us. Think about how simple the old formula used to sound. You learned something, you got good at it, you found a company that needed the skill, you worked there, collected a paycheck, and hopefully became more valuable over time. That system was never perfect, but at least people understood the basic rules. Now, the rules seem to be changing every few months. Companies want employees who can do more things. Technology is allowing smaller teams to accomplish work that once required entire departments. Remote work changed where people can work. Artificial intelligence is changing how the work itself gets done. And somewhere in the middle of all of this is the average person thinking, what exactly am I supposed to prepare for? That's the uncomfortable question. Because we've spent decades telling people to develop skills. But what happens when the shelf life of a skill gets shorter? You could become extremely good at doing something manually, only to discover that software can suddenly handle a huge portion of it. That doesn't necessarily mean your job disappears tomorrow. Sometimes something more subtle happens. The job stays, but the expectations change. Maybe your company used to need 5 people to handle a certain amount of work. New technology comes along and suddenly 3 people can handle it. The remaining 3 aren't necessarily celebrating, because now those 3 people might be expected to produce what 5 people used to produce. That's one of the strange contradictions of modern work. Every piece of technology promises to make our lives easier. But somehow everybody keeps getting busier. And companies are becoming increasingly interested in people who can wear multiple hats. You're not just the writer anymore. You're the writer who understands AI, analytics, social media, video, marketing, and whatever new platform appeared last Tuesday. You're not just doing customer service. You're managing automated systems while handling the complicated problems the automated systems couldn't solve. You're not just a designer. You're expected to understand content, branding, software, automation, and maybe even a little coding. The job title stays the same. The job quietly becomes 3 jobs. And I think that's why so many people feel confused about work right now. We're living through this awkward transition where the old career advice doesn't completely work anymore. But nobody has figured out the new career advice. People used to say, find a stable career. What does stable mean now? Does it mean working for a huge company? Does it mean working for yourself? Does it mean having multiple income streams? Does it mean constantly learning new technology? Nobody really knows. And that's what makes this moment fascinating and unsettling at the same time. Because there are opportunities here too. One person can start a business from a laptop. A small creator can reach millions of people. Someone with an idea can use technology that would have required an entire company not that long ago. That's incredible. But it also means the competition changes. You're no longer necessarily competing with somebody across town. You might be competing with somebody across the world. Or somebody using technology that allows them to work 5 times faster. Or eventually, maybe you're competing with the technology itself. That's a very different job market. And I don't think the answer is to panic about it. But pretending everything is normal doesn't make much sense either. The people who survive major changes aren't always the strongest or the smartest. Sometimes they are simply the people who notice the rules changing early enough to change with them. Because the biggest danger might not be losing your job. It might be preparing your entire life for a job market that no longer exists.